You're hiring. You've put a solid plan together, built an advertising strategy, and seen a solid flow of candidates. Through your resume screening, you've eliminated the non-fit applicants, and now you have to figure out who you're going to interview. This is where your phone screens and interviews come into play, and this is where the hiring wheels hit the pavement. This is one of the most critical stages of the interview process, and this is your first chance to start speaking with job seekers to better understand the market, and it's their first chance to speak with you to better get to know the company. My name's Brent, I own the Vancouver Express Employment Professionals office, and in our previous videos, we discussed our comprehensive job order process, the needs analysis of recruitment strategy, how to write internal descriptions and external job postings, and now screening and first contact with job seekers. If you want to run the recruitment process on your own, we feel you need to define these systems and processes to ensure you and your team understand the path that you're going to follow, which ensures that steps aren't skipped and candidates aren't missed. In this video, we're going to talk about the stage that we call phone inquiries. This is where you're reaching out to applicants to inquire about their fit with your position. Now, depending on how you manage this process, it can go a few different ways. One option is where you call every applicant with a short set of questions with the intention of scheduling interviews with the top candidates at a later date. In our office, we prefer to do the inquiry calls and move directly into a phone interview immediately with a successful candidate. There are 3 points that we suggest that you consider in your strategy. We first feel for every position you need to establish and agree on a time frame where you'll be reaching out to candidates, what questions you're going to be asking, and who's ultimately going to be responsible for this stage. I've touched on this in previous videos, but I want to reiterate that for our office, our rule is 24 hours or less. The labor market is tight in almost every single industry and position. You can't afford to miss out on an exceptional hire for your business by sitting on resumes and not making them a priority. If you or your team don't have the time to review the applicants, then don't publish your job. Don't do this until you're ready to do so, otherwise you risk hurting your brand and losing out on great candidates while wasting everybody's time in the process. To accomplish the above, designate a point person whose job it is to review resumes. Build a system, determine a preset range of questions, and set yourself or this point person up for success. This might take a team effort if you see a large influx of resumes over the weekend or overnight, but overall the process should be manageable if you're staying on top of the candidate flow every day. Lastly, establish a set of questions you'll ask each applicant to help determine the baseline fit for the position. This could start with some basics such as, are they legally entitled to work in the country? Are they looking for full-time or part-time work? How close they live to the location? Are they bondable? And when could they start? Feel free to start with these closed-ended questions, and if everything looks good, move on to a few open-ended questions like why they applied and what attracted them to the company or the position. Also, open it up to them to share anything they feel might be relevant for you to know. I feel if you start with this and these basics, you'll build a foundation for the process. The next points for you to consider are your scripts and how you move forward with strong candidates and let those who aren't a fit down. In our office, we rely heavily on building a strong foundational script to help ensure there isn't any gray area and that no steps are skipped. This also helps us set the conversation up for success and shares any expectations with the process with the job seeker. This helps with how you move through the next part of the process, and if you intend to call all applicants first, screen them, then review their information and decide who you're going to invite back for an interview, build a script that shares this on the front end. If you want to be more flexible with your process, or you might want to move a successful inquiry through to an in-depth phone interview, this of course will depend on the candidate fit and how they do on their inquiry on the phone, but most people won't be expecting your call. You'll want to have something prepared to first give them context for your call and give you an out if the person isn't a fit. You'll also want to be able to move forward if you're impressed with the person in the first few minutes. We try to keep this part of the process as fluid as possible for our office. If time permits on both ends, I'd always lean more towards a slightly more in-depth interview to get a better feel of fit. Strike while the iron's hot here and don't miss an opportunity to further connect with a great candidate. Lastly, I'd have a script handy to summarize what the position entails, what a successful candidate can expect for next steps, and how to gently appreciate an applicant who isn't a fit and how you intend to let them down. Most applicants are appreciative to know that they aren't a fit and that they can close the search off and move on to the next opportunity. Whether you partner with Express or you run this process on your own, please take the time to go through these steps before moving forward with your inquiry calls. It's so important that we do this for every search. Thanks again for tuning in. If you'd like more info on Express, please visit our website, our Facebook, or our LinkedIn pages, which are all linked below, and feel free to reach out with a call, a text, or an email to us and ask any question you have about your inquiry process or your next hire.